My girlfriend said, "I'm not changing my relationship status until you do something actually worth posting about." I said, "Fair." Then I did something worth posting, and it was called moving on. My name is Jake. I'm 28, and I'm writing this at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday because I genuinely don't know where else to process what just happened in the last 6 weeks. I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years. We met at a company networking event, hit it off, moved in together after 2 years, and everyone, and I mean everyone, thought we were the endgame couple. You know the type. Instagram perfect, posted anniversaries, did couples vacations twice a year. The whole performance. But here's the thing about performances. They're exhausting when the show is only for an audience. She had always been obsessed with social media validation. I'm not saying this bitterly, it's just fact. She'd redo photos 5 times to get the lighting right. She had alerts set up for when people liked her posts. Her friend group was basically fueled by comment wars and who posted what first. I'd never been that way, but I loved her, so I smiled for the cameras and let her tag me in things. Then last year, I started noticing something shifting. She was checking her phone constantly. More than usual, I mean. And this guy from her yoga studio, let's call him C, started showing up in her stories a lot. Not in a threatening way, or so I told myself. Just a pattern I was noticing, but choosing not to acknowledge. About 3 months ago, my girlfriend made this comment after I posted a pretty successful work achievement online. It wasn't a major thing, just that I'd been promoted to a senior operations role at a consulting firm. Nothing earth-shattering, but it was important to me. She had liked the post, commented something supportive, but then a few days later, she pulled me aside. "Your career thing is great," she said, sitting on the couch while I was making dinner. "But honestly, I'm not changing my relationship status until you do something actually worth posting about." I remember laughing because I thought she was joking. But she wasn't smiling. "What do you mean? I just got a promotion." "Yeah, but that's just your job, babe. I need something bigger. Engagement-worthy. You know how my friends are always asking me if we're the next ones getting married? I want to be able to actually tell them something. Right now I'm just watching my life while other people are building theirs." I stared at her. We literally talked about marriage in 2 years. We agreed on that timeline. "I know, but I need something now. Something to post about. Everyone's moving forward, and I'm just stuck." That was the first moment I felt something shift in me. Not anger, exactly. More like clarity. Like watching someone in a room with you that you suddenly realize you don't actually know. I didn't argue. I just went back to cooking. But I couldn't stop thinking about what she'd said. Was I that boring? Was I not enough? Was our 4-year relationship not worth posting about unless it came with a ring attached? These thoughts sat with me for weeks, honestly. I'd wake up and think about them. I'd be in meetings and think about them. By the time March rolled around, I was essentially sleepwalking through the relationship, going through motions, coming home, making dinner, scrolling while she scrolled, going to bed. She seemed fine with this. We weren't fighting. We were just existing, in the same apartment, apart. Then something happened that I didn't expect. I reconnected with an old friend at a conference. We'd known each other in college, hadn't seen each other in 5 years, and we just clicked immediately. We grabbed coffee the next day. Just coffee. But talking to her felt like remembering how to breathe. She was sharp, funny, didn't check her phone once, and when I mentioned what my girlfriend had said about needing something worth posting, she actually laughed out loud. "So you need to earn the right to be in her feed?" she said. "That's not love, dude. That's transactional." I hadn't thought about it that way. Over the next week, I saw this friend 3 more times. We'd grab lunch, take walks, exchange messages. Nothing romantic happened. We weren't physical or crossing that line. But I felt alive again. I felt like myself. I was laughing again. I was having thoughts that weren't consumed with whether I was interesting enough for my girlfriend's timeline. By the 2nd week of April, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going to wait for my girlfriend to dump me because I wasn't giving her the content she needed. I was going to leave. Update 1, I told her on a Wednesday night. I remember it was Wednesday because I'd been planning to do it on a Friday to give myself a weekend buffer, but I couldn't stand another 2 days of lying. We were sitting at the dinner table, Chinese takeout from the place we always got from. She was telling me about how C had helped her with some weird yoga position, and she was laughing in this way I hadn't heard her laugh with me in months. That's when I knew I was making the right call. "I need to talk to you about something serious," I said. She looked up. "Oh my God, are you okay? Is it your family?" "No, everyone's fine. But I think we need to break up." I watched her face cycle through confusion, then anger, then something that looked almost like relief before she covered it up. What? What are you talking about? Where is this coming from? I'm coming from the fact that I don't think we want the same things. I love you, but I don't think you love me. I think you love the idea of having me as part of your life story, but only if I'm interesting enough to post about. And I can't build my entire existence around being content for your audience. She stared at me. That is not fair. You're twisting what I said. Am I? When was the last time you asked me about my day? Not to see if there was anything worth sharing, but actually to know how I was feeling. She didn't answer. I think I should move out this weekend, I said quietly. I'll get an apartment. We can figure out the logistics of the lease and everything else, but I think I need space. Is there someone else? She asked suddenly. No, there's just me. And I need to figure out who that is without trying to be a character in someone else's story. That's when she got angry. Really angry. She said things like, "You're being ungrateful," and "I can't believe you're throwing away for years, and you're going to regret this." I just sat there. I wasn't angry back. I was sad, but I was also somehow calm. This was the right thing. I moved in with my buddy Derek on Saturday. A studio apartment, temporary situation, but it felt clean and simple. That Sunday night, I changed my relationship status to single on Facebook. I'm not even that active on Facebook, but I did it. And I sent my old friend a text saying I'd finally done it, that I was ready to grab that coffee she'd mentioned before everything got complicated. Monday morning, my ex's friend group collectively lost their minds. Update 2: Derek called me at work on Monday around 11 a.m. Dude, what did you do? She's been calling literally everyone in her contact list. I think she's in my Instagram DMs. When I checked my phone, I had 17 texts from her. 17. Some were angry. How could you humiliate me like this? Some were pleading, let's go to couples counseling. Some were threatening, I'm going to tell everyone the truth about you. And the last one just said, we weren't even bad. Why would you throw us away? I didn't respond. I couldn't. Anything I said would just fuel the fire. What I didn't expect was what happened next. My old friend had sent me a screenshot Tuesday morning. A TikTok video that one of my ex's friends had posted. It was 15 seconds long. It showed a photo of her looking gorgeous at some brunch, then zoomed in on my Facebook profile picture from when we were together, and on the final photo was a caption that read, POV, your boyfriend leaves you via social media to be with someone from his past. Narcissist behavior FRFR. The video had 1.2 million views. I called Derek in absolute shock. What the hell? That's not even what happened. We broke up first, and then I changed my status. Narrative, bro, Derek said. She's the victim in this story. You're the guy who cheated. You did something worth posting about. You destroyed her. I felt sick. My old friend called me that evening. I saw the video, she said. How are you holding up? I'm freaking out. Everyone at work is going to see that. My parents are going to see that. The people who matter will know it's not true. But that wasn't really how internet culture works, is it? The narrative had been set. I was a cheater. I was a narcissist. I was a guy who'd left his girlfriend for someone else. My ex had pivoted perfectly from girl without content to wronged girlfriend, and the algorithm loved her for it. Update 3: by Thursday, my ex had posted a full-length video where she told her version of things. No explicit accusations, but she talked about how she'd noticed changes in me, how I'd become emotionally distant, how she'd caught me texting someone but I'd been secretive about it. None of it was true. My old friend and I hadn't texted until after I'd broken up with my ex. But the internet doesn't care about the timeline when the story is juicy enough. I got a call from my HR department on Friday. Not fired, but questioned. They'd received multiple complaints about my inappropriate behavior in the workplace. There were no actual incidents, but my ex's friend group had collectively sent emails to my company claiming I'd behaved unethically. My manager assured me I was fine, that they'd looked into it, but I could feel the shift in how people looked at me. My mom called Saturday morning, having seen the TikTok from my aunt. She wanted to know if I'd cheated. I had to sit on the phone for 40 minutes explaining that I hadn't, that I'd ended the relationship first because it wasn't working, and that I'd reconnected with an old friend afterward. But did you have feelings for her while you were still with your girlfriend? My mom asked. I don't know. Maybe I did. But nothing happened. I didn't act on anything. That's cheating, Jake. Emotional cheating. I hung up feeling like I was taking crazy pills. Had I become the villain in my own story? My old friend was the only person who kept me tethered to reality. You ended a relationship that wasn't working, she said firmly. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you had feelings for me, that's not a crime. That's called being human. Over the next 2 weeks, my old friend and I officially started dating. It felt natural. We weren't hiding it. I posted one photo of us at dinner, and immediately the comments were brutal. There's the girl he was texting, finally reveals his side piece. Bet she knew all along. None of it was true. None of it mattered. Final update, I'm writing this now, 6 weeks after the breakup. Here's where everything landed. My ex's video went viral again after a major influencer reposted it. She gained 400,000 followers from the whole ordeal. She's been doing sponsored content, posted about healing, and last week she changed her relationship status to in a relationship with C, the yoga instructor, the one from all the stories. Apparently, they'd been getting close for about 2 months while I was still in the relationship. Nobody seems to care about that timeline though. My current girlfriend and I are taking things slowly. It's different from what I had before. Quieter. She doesn't post about us. We don't do it for the audience. We do it for us. It's terrifying and grounding all at once. Derek's still being Derek, finding it all hilarious that I managed to be the villain in someone else's hero narrative. My parents have warmed up to the situation after meeting my girlfriend and actually understanding what happened. My manager cleared everything up at work. And my ex? She's happy. Actually happy, I think. Or at least, she's getting the content she needed. Everyone's watching. Everyone's invested. She's finally interesting enough to post about. I learned something through all of this. People who need an audience to validate their relationships probably shouldn't be in relationships at all. They need a stage, a camera, an algorithm. They need to matter to strangers more than they need to matter to the person they're with. I'm glad I left, even if it made me the villain for a while. Edit 1. I've gotten a lot of comments about my current girlfriend. To be clear, we were never physical until after the breakup. I had feelings that I didn't act on. My ex's narrative suggested I'd been actively cheating, which isn't true. The timeline matters. But I also understand that I should have dealt with my feelings by working on my relationship first instead of seeking emotional support from someone else. That's on me. Edit 2. Several people asked if I'd reached out to my ex to explain my side. I haven't. At this point, it wouldn't matter. The narrative is set. And honestly, I've learned that sometimes you can't convince people of your truth. All you can do is live your truth and hope it speaks louder than the version someone else tells about you.